Okay. So today was really stressful, man. Okay, so we are starting now, and this is a podcast show to talk about certain things people should understand, and the reason for this stuff is to change the minds of people. Like Simon Sinek said, he said, people don't buy your product; they buy your reason why you're doing it. So always ask yourself why. So the reason for this stuff right now is to change the minds of people. Okay, mainly given to my customers, mainly given to people buying from me or taking my courses. So that is it. So before we start, I always read some quotes which I have prepared here for everyone. Okay, so the first one we have, number one, we have, if you don't feel like getting up in the morning, then you should try looking at what you have accomplished and give thanks. Two, according to Sweet 16, your children are not your children. This is to parents. They are the products of life longing for itself. Although they come through you, but not from you. Although they live with you, but yet belong not to you. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, where you cannot visit even in your dreams. Don't seek to make your children learn from you or be like you, but learn from your children. But seek to learn from your children and be like them. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. 3. That was from Sweet 16, a jam novel. That novel, like, I love that novel so much, okay? I love it. So, 3, we have How You Feel About Your Life Is Your Life by Dr. Wayne Dyer. 4, you are the master of your destiny. You can influence it, direct it, and control it by great Napoleon Hill. 5. If you keep doing what you love, the results you expect will show up. Late great Kobe Bryant. 6. How you choose to see reality is your reality by me. If you can deal with the enemies in your big head, the enemies outside you can do you no harm. Anonymous quote. 8. According to neuroscience, your eyes don't see, your brain sees. 9. Karma is an illusion, according to Gare Science. 10. It's your life. You can either choose to be grateful for yourself or for your life, or you feel sorry for your life and for yourself. 11. No one on their deathbed wished they worked more at the office. So this is all we have right now for the first quote, the first part. I have quotes for second part when we take break, if we can take break, because we have a lot to do today. Okay, so yeah, we're starting now. The first big topic. We will just drive and start to the end. So let me say everything that I want to say first. Because so you're gonna be truly interested. So the sponsor of today's podcast, kudos to my online course. I know what that online course is. My online course on how to sell free ebooks. Okay, listen. My online course on how to sell free ebooks. Like many people say, ebooks is just like a digital book. In fact, we should not call it ebooks again. We should call it digital books. Okay, it's a book you read on your phone, and it's so hard to write one. If you want to write, the first one I wrote, it took 1 month for me to write my first ebook. So I have some ebooks with me that I have written by myself. But if you don't want to write ebooks, you just want to make money from it, then you should take my course. But if you want to actually write, you want to impact the world with something, then you should take my course on how to write ebooks. Okay, I have a separate one for that. But the sponsor of this show is my course, How to Sell Free Ebooks. And you have to pay for me to teach you how to do that, and you will be able to make a lot of money for this. Like, if you don't make money from this, like, this is not me. Okay, so if you are listening right now on Facebook, okay, I'm going to share some part on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I usually pitch my tent on Facebook. Okay, I have 12 Facebook pages, 6 Facebook groups, and many stuff. So that's why I have my power. So if you are getting this video on Facebook, you want to make money, please do this. This is the reason white people are usually free. People in the Western world, they are free to go watch wrestling. If you bring WWE here in Nigeria, like it's gonna suck. Like if you bring WWE, how it's gonna feel. But they always have time for entertainment. Why? Because of the mode of income that they choose. Active income, passive income, portfolio income. So we have many black people always fall in this active income, and it will never give you time. Passive income is example of passive income is what I'm talking about here. You make money with little or no effort. So that is it. So if you want to do this stuff, it's 1,700 naira. I'm gonna teach you how to sell free ebooks for yourself. You will make money on autopilot. You'll be able to create your payment links and everything. I'll teach you the mindset too. Mindset is very important. So if you love this guy, smash the like button, or you just follow the description. If you see it on Facebook, I will always leave a link for you to pay. Pay and get started. Once you pay, I'll add to my customers group, and you will receive certain things from me for free too. So when you pay, you're not disconnected from me, you're connected. Okay. So this is all we have. So the first we have on our list is um the black community. So what do you think? What are your thoughts? We might just drive to the end. You know these topics are very, very yeah. So the black community. What are the things we are having in the black community? The first thing we discuss here is superstition. Superstition, cultism, rituals. We're going to discuss all those things. Karma. We're going to discuss karma. It's like I want to spend time on it. So that's why I've talked all my stuff. So we have enough time for this. So let's go. What's superstition? First, what's the black community? Does the black community exist?
There's no real defining a black community in terms of I don't think a black community exists. Does not
Okay.
really exist. People are simply, let's say, people in Africa or probably abroad, they're just simply bound together by probably by how would I put it? By circumstances.
Okay.
For us here in Africa, this is where we live, so we are bound by our geography. So I would not
Okay.
really say there's this black community. Like for me, when I define a community, I probably they have a common goal.
Okay.
Communities have a common goal. So I would not really say there's a black community because
Okay.
we don't have one common goal. We're just simply bound together in one same place.
Okay. That's beautiful. So a community, yeah, that's a good one. But I love like there's some things I'll see. I'll just say to myself, hey, this doesn't exist. Even in the put it in books, like this doesn't exist. They should delete it from this thing. Like there are few people like thinking about things critically and making some kind of statement. There are very, very few. There are very, very few. So the black community to you doesn't even exist. Okay. So let's discuss superstition. We'll come back to the black community. Why I put my question. From the definition you gave. So what's superstition?
Okay. Superstition now is this irrational belief in something arising
Okay.
from fear or ignorance. That
Okay.
is, a superstition is something that is not true and does not exist, but people believe in it either because probably they are afraid of not believing in it or they don't really know much about it.
Wow. Like that's beautiful. Like so crazy. So like there's something you said. You said they are afraid not to believe in it. I want to talk about that part. If I don't get, just talk about it.
Okay, what I mean by they are afraid. So probably again, this fear again comes from ignorance or probably lack of particular knowledge about something.
Okay.
There are some certain things that if you have information about it, you will not fear. Like
Yeah.
probably an examination. If you
Mm.
knew that you have read or probably that you would know the answers, that fear of the examination will leave you. Or probably you want to start a business and suddenly you are just crippled by this fear of what if the business fails. But if you find out that the more you go and the more you learn about that particular business, you see that you will actually be building your confidence. So fear now arises from lack of knowledge. So what I mean superstition because of fear. Many people they believe in particular things that okay, this thing is real because they don't know whether it is real or not. They don't have information, and a lot of times they don't really want to get that information because I think I have noticed something. people find it easier to believe than they find it easier to disbelieve. Like they would rather believe in something, but if you question their belief, they will always give you one excuse for why they don't want to believe that okay, this thing is false. So also many of them, many people believe things or they don't want to choose to accept facts based on their ego because they feel like if they accept that you are right, then that means they are wrong. So most people now they hold on to superstitions or people hold on to superstitions for lots of reasons, but the main root of it all is definitely lack of proper knowledge about that particular thing.
Wow, wow, that's a brilliant one. So, like you said, when you start a new business or you want to go write an exam, like
Yeah,
students always fear. Many of them always
yeah,
fear, and don't even know why they fear. And you said, from what you said right now, I can form a conclusion that learning is a way to eliminate fear, isn't it?
yes,
So,
yeah.
like, but there are some people that still read books and still go to the exam or in fear. So, what do they do? What is your advice to those kind of people, kind of individuals?
So those kind of people, first I will tell them that okay, what you are afraid of, yes, it could happen, but there's a very big chance that it will not also happen. There's a 50-50% chance, but you can change those odds to your favor by learning more about the subject. Like most of those people that are still going to examinations hall afraid, is that most of them again they are not fully prepared. Their fears are arising from their mind, asking them questions to which they do not have answers to. Like probably their mind will be asking them, this what if questions come from this chapter? Do you know the answers? Then suddenly they realize that okay, we don't really know the answers to those questions. So
Okay.
what do we do if questions come from that particular topic or from this particular chapter? So their fear again comes from lack of knowledge or a lack of knowledge, which means once your mind is always going to ask you questions. So you are going to always ask yourself questions that if this happens, what will the response be? Or if so thing is to befall me, how will I respond or how will I recover it? So again, that once your mind asks you ask somebody those questions, the first thing everybody falls into is fear. I think recently these days, I was thinking of one very, very huge, I was thinking of this idea of for a business. Immediately I thought of it, I started thinking of all the gears, like starting the thing was so complex. But immediately I just said pause. I just paused. Then I started thinking about every single process of the whole thing. Now I think my mind or my confidence to I've not actually started, but my confidence has already been built up about that thing because now if my mind asks me that okay, what if this happens? Even though I don't have the solution, I
Yeah.
can say that okay, this is how I will get the
Counter it.
solution.
Okay.
Yes, this is
So,
how I
so
will attempt to solve it. This is
okay.
what I will do, or probably this is the route I will take.
So, meaning the solution to those kind of those individuals who read but still fear is check your mind very well and respond to your thoughts. Respond to it.
Yes,
If your mind say, "What if this happens?" Like try to respond. Try to knock down that thought. Give something to neutralize it. Give some positive
yes,
stuff to just positive, negative, equal amount is going to turn to zero. Net charge zero. So that's exactly what you should do if you are that kind of person. Just like atom, where you have the electron number, proton number must be equal. If it's equal, the atom is electrically neutral. So when negative thoughts is coming, try to bring in many the same number of positive thoughts. So it's going to neutralize it, and at least you're going to have a net charge of zero. So you are just going to be neutral. Or if you're going to be positive, you increase positive thoughts. They're going to be positively charged. So that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay. So now let's go over to the big topic, karma. Like there is a science of karma. I did not notify, I did not tell you about this karma. So I will talk about some about it. I will give you time to actually think about it. So now, while I talk, now what is the idea of this karma routine? How does karma affect our brains? Okay, now there are things you should take note of as an individual. Now, number one thing is this: when you have let's say, okay, feeling is a chemical. Number one, feeling is a chemical. And when you think a thought, according to neuroscience, a thought held long enough in your mind or in your brain, your mind is the brain at work. So a thought held long enough in your mind produces a feeling, and feeling is a chemical. The feeling, thought leads to action, action leads to result, feelings, sorry, thought leads to feelings, feelings leads to actions, and actions leads to results. Okay, now, and I said, remember I said that emotions are the end products of past experiences. Okay, so let's say you have an experience comprises an event and how you react to that event. Let's say something happens to you, yeah, you are definitely going to react to it mentally, which will produce a feeling, okay, which can lead to action and give you results. So let's say an event happens, something happens to you right now. You're going to react to it mentally. It's going to lead to your body producing feeling, which is chemical in you. Then you are going to feel certain ways and either run away or beat the person up or cry or regret or feel sorry for yourself. Blah 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 blah. Okay, now when that happens, what's the side effect? The side effect is this: when that happens in your brain always want to run away from harm, from pain. It always want to run away from pain. Those who understand this thing are those people actually doing great things. They'll tell you where your brain tells you to stop, you can go 30 minutes longer. Let's say you're fighting right now, they give you submission in your leg, like your brain is telling you, stop, I am breaking, stop. They say your brain can go 30 minutes longer. Where it's telling you I'm dying, it can go 30 minutes more. So that is really important. Those people that understand this stuff understand this knowledge about the brain trying to run away from pain all the time, because pain is stress to your body. And when stress hormone is turned on, which is cortisol, your immune system shuts down. So you see the reason why your body wants to run away from stress. Your immune system shuts down. When your immune system shuts down, you're likely going to be infected by a disease. So that is why your body, since it wants to keep you safe, it's always want to run away from pain or anything that's going to cause stress to you. So that is it. So now, when you have an event, something happens to you, and there are some things that will happen to you, you really feel disconnected. You really feel disconnected inside you. Now, when that happens, your brain always want to pay attention. After the event, your brain pays attention to what caused that thing. Why am I feeling this altered within me? What caused that thing? When your brain pays attention to what caused that thing, if you give it attention, it's going to take a snapshot of that thing. That snapshot is what is called a memory. It's going to be stored in your brain as a memory. So when you record that memory, the pictures that you took is going to come to your mind, and the feelings, everything is going to come to your body. So you are going to feel like that thing is happening now. Okay? Because your body actually does not react to what it sees outside. Your body is unconscious. It reacts to what your mind is saying about what it is saying. That is why I said, according to the neuroscience, says that your eyes don't see, your brain sees. You see, they have experiment for this now. They've proven it. Your eyes does not see, your brain sees. Your brain realizes all the interpretation that your mind gives to what it sees. That is what your body takes as reality to you, and you can alter that interpretation. That's why you can control your life and do any powerful things you want. So now, like I said about the event and how your body reacts to it. Now, when a memory is formed in your head right now, I'm explaining karma, the science of karma. Now, when a memory is formed in your head now, and let's say the memory in your head is about let's say something happened to you. Your brother said you are a fool and it affected you. Now you go out there to work and you did something that pissed your boss off, and your boss says you are a fool. Your brain, the CEO of your brain, which is the frontal lobe of your brain, is responsible for decision making. So when this happens, your brain like wants to know how to react to what that boss said. And how does it do this? It checks your brain. It checks the entire, looks over your CEO of your brain, looks over the entire landscape of your brain and tries to know, is there a similar event that has happened? Do I have a similar event? Then it checks, oh, I have a similar event. My brother called me a fool. How did I react to that stuff? So it's going to try to relate these two events and create a unique response to that thing that your boss says. Then what's gonna happen? You're gonna quit your job. My boss is trying to tell me, he's trying to make me believe what my brother said is true. You are gonna quit. And after you quit, let's say you go to another job now, you get another work, and you go there now. This same thing happens because you're definitely gonna make your boss angry, whether you like it or not. Then your boss says something, he's gonna try to relate, even if it's not related, he's gonna try to pick on similar thing. If it's similar, you are finished. He's gonna get it, get a unique response, and go. Once it goes, you are going to find yourself quitting that job again. You are going to end up repeating this cycle of quitting and quitting and quitting. Then you say God is against me, the universe is against me. That is what people call karma. That's what people call karma. Like, that's what people call karma. So you see, well, if you knew about your brain, if you knew that this thing is actually taking place in your head, your brain is trying to just trying to react in the best way, picking up past events, tagging things together. If you understand this stuff, you understand that the karma is fake. So what do you think about this thing called karma of a thing?
Well, I think that is your brain is just automatic response of your brain based
Okay.
on what it has seen. Just like it's replaying what you recorded. So I think the only solution to that would be to for the thing is that it will be hard for people to really break out of that cycle. But
Okay.
the only way to break out of that particular cycle is to absorb more and react less. When I mean absorb more, I mean yes, respond less. Don't be overreactive to particular situations. That is, so absorb more pain or absorb more of everything and react less. But for you to react less, now you need to when situations come like that. I think there's this particular thing that if people actually start to practice it every time, whenever you are faced with a situation, instead of you just reacting instantly, pause first, and try to evaluate the situation if you can understand. Don't react yet. Until for me, I'm trying to practice this thing until I can say, okay, this is what the situation is. I don't want to react now. So if you cannot give yourself a good explanation for your reaction, don't react. I think that is something more and more people need to practice. But you know, the problem with that one is that in society or in Nigeria, or particularly across the world, people feel like if you don't react, it means probably you are
F.
scared or you are foolish. So most people now they just even though they don't want to react of their own accord,
Yeah, they
they
have to just
react
react.
that to not look like they are
F.
afraid or just to in a way to please other people.
Yeah.
So probably somebody throws something at you, you were passing something and somebody does something at you, whether mistakenly or purposely. Some people they just bounce into the just you just see them they just go shouting and probably their reaction is even more than the action. I think but most of the times that at the end you when you are done sometimes if you look around or if you realize the situation that you may have just put yourself it actually feels dumb. If you let your mind process what just happened, like your reaction to the particular action, you will feel dumb. Probably you are in a bus and somebody just kicks your leg. If you notice some people, they just react all of a sudden. They just blow up all of a sudden. And at the end, after the event, their reaction to the particular action just feels stupid. Like they overreacted, but they will not want to admit it. But I think if there are situations much more, how do I put it, with much that are much more important than that, or probably you find yourself in high places. You definitely need to caution yourself. You cannot just get overreacted. And probably at the president of the country, president of the United States, for example, and one other country just does something, probably military action, one of
Okay.
their let's say jets
You want to
just
fight?
flies by or does something, and all of a sudden you just declare war.
No.
So I don't exactly. So people have done it, but at the end, if at the end of that particular event, you see that the reaction is not great. So if you to cope with those kind of situations, you need to reform your brain. I think stress now is an event. Let me just say, it's an event that the body has never encountered before,
Yeah.
that is pushing the body to the limit.
Yeah.
So there are some certain situations that we'll go through. I think we need to start reforming our brain actively to cope with those situations, particularly stress. There are some particular things. not just the stress that we feel. Stress is a symptom of what we have to say, it's like a symptom of the particular thing we are going through.
Uh,
So we need to start giving our brains answers on what is happening to us. The brain is asking questions. So the reason why we feel stressed and why we tend to, let's say, almost go out of, like we almost just go flat out, is because the brain is pushing more and more questions, more and more questions. The longer we cannot afford to give the brain answers, the more questions it has to throw at us.
yeah,
So it will now just start bringing up questions from the past, like probably past experiences that we have gone through.
yeah,
Even though we
always.
have conquered them, the brain now is giving us past. It will be bringing up questions. We're trying to
Yeah.
link everything together.
Mm.
The reason why it's linking everything together is that we did not have answers to those particular experiences when they happened. So now the brain is just rooting up all the dead bodies
You
because
didn't
we don't
answer
know
this question
what
that time.
killed
You
them.
didn't answer
Just,
this.
it's just bringing everything back
Yeah.
and hitting it all, throwing it all at once. So when situations like that come, you as yourself, I think that the only thing you can do to avoid yourself from falling out is you need to have a talk, sit your brain down, and then you need to have a discussion with yourself. I think if you truly want to be at peace or you want to have your life sort of under
Okay.
control, you need to best have your brain under control because, like you said,
Yeah.
your brain now is the CEO of our brain and it takes how we respond. Your brain interprets everything.
Okay.
So if the brain does not understand what is happening, that it will not interpret the situation better.
Yeah.
So more and more people, we need to begin to answer ourselves the questions that
Yeah.
we ask ourselves because again our brain is us. So we need to begin to respond to all these questions that our subconscious is actually asking us, like, okay, why did this happen? Why did you react like this? Why is that?
Yeah.
So
It always wants to know why.
yes. So the better we can respond to all these particular questions, should those situations arise in the future again, we'll be able to give a much better response
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah. Since the responses can be stored in your brain too. So when the action or when a trigger comes, you just get it on. So this is liberating, okay? This is liberating. You don't understand this. So now you see someone experience, saying what I call karma, probably you believe something, you've done something in past life or this and that. That's why you're having this circle of bad things happening to you, this and that. Now, what's the way out? You said react less. I'm coming. You said react less. Reacting less, isn't it stress to the body? Absorbing those information now without saying anything, and your brain keeps telling you you've not answered this didn't happen that time, you didn't answer. Your brain is still bringing questions to your head, raising your vibration and putting you under high levels of stress. So now, what is the way out of this stuff, of this karma? You said reacting less. Reacting less is not is the way out, but I want to hear. I'll give. I already know the way out from what you have said, but before I give my conclusion on what you said, I want to tell me what is the way out. If you are like 4 sentences, what is the way out of this stuff?
I think the way out is something that it will not just come at once. You will need to actively practice it. Like
Okay.
you will need to become a habit to you. So when
Okay.
I say react less and absorb more, I mean get more information
Oh,
so that
that's
your
beautiful.
response will be better guided. So
Okay.
I think I was thinking about something which I saw something on TV. So my reaction was I it was just like a stimulation, but my brain was just running a stimulation in my mind. So my mind just blew up. I was like, what nonsense is this? I don't say anything, but it was all in my head. So but after some time, I just say, let me stop and let me say, okay, if I'm actually faced with this particular situation, what would be the best way the
Okay.
most productive way to respond to it? I think after I sat down and I said, okay, what would be the most responsive way the best way? I think I came up with a much more better situation for a situation that I would never even be in the first place. So
Okay.
I think if we want to, I think that's where wisdom comes from. Wisdom comes from saying, you see, if you give out the first thing that comes to your mind, that is definitely not the last. That is definitely not your best. So as an artist, or when I first started drawing, I just felt like, okay, the first thing I create should be the best. That is the first idea that comes to my mind about a particular subject should be the best. If it's not the best, then it probably means I have failed in it. But the more I learned, I have now found out that after that first initial try, I can do better. I can actually rate more and say, okay, I can actually do better at this particular task. So when I mean reactness, I mean you can do better than that your first response. So if the first response that comes to your mind is to just blow up and probably just get shouting or get violent or something, or probably break down or fall into regret, then that is not actually a good response. Your mind, your brain can actually do better than that. So absorb more information, try to get more, try to understand the situation better, then run a simulation in your mind. Try to get, okay, if I say this, what would be the most likely response from other people, or what would happen into myself? How would I feel if I run this through? Or like, what would be my own response from myself after everything is finished if I react this way? Or which other response do I feel will bring much more better result? Like, let's say your boss calls you a fool. First of all, that is wrong on behalf of the boss to call you a fool, because again, even though you work for them and they pay you, you are still a human being and you still deserve respect. So again, you could respond to your boss and probably call him a fool,
But
or just get shouting at it again. But again, if you do that, he will not get anything from that particular standoff. He will not learn anything, or he will just feel like you are being a much more disrespectful employee that a boss is talking to you and you are talking back. So there's actually a way to which you can respond to that your boss that will make him feel ashamed
of himself.
For himself, and even feel ashamed that, or he will look at the other people around. There's this shame that will overcome him. But if you respond aggressively against him, those people, they will, in a way, they will say, okay, he's your boss, and probably why are you insulting in that way, or probably why are you responding that way? But if your response is better, your boss will learn a lot more from that particular situation, and probably next time he will not even want to, let's say, insult another employee or probably disrespect them in a way, regardless of whether they've done something wrong or not. So I think we should strive to, instead of us just reacting aggressively or reacting wrongly, I think we should strive, our response should be in a way that we pass a good message across.
Okay.
Pass a message or pass a teaching across that, okay, if this happens to you, this is what you can do, or this is what you can learn from it, or this is how you should respond to it. Like if something you are experiencing doubt, or you're experiencing things that are giving you stress, yes, you could fall into depression and you could fall into all that. But if you actually choose to go down that rabbit hole of depression, it will be very, very difficult to come back. So you can now try that, okay, yes, you know that things are not going fine, everything is breaking down, everything is going sideways. But okay, why is everything going sideways, and probably how can they be resolved? Yes, it might sound simple to say, but like you said, the more you say it, the more the thought lasts in your head and it becomes solidified. I think that is the same way in which depression works. Because your brain now is asking you all these questions and it's telling you that, okay, do you not see that your venture, that your business venture just failed? The other one that you did last week, it failed. The one you did last year, it failed. The one you did this year, it failed. So your brain now is just repeating all these things. So I think now you don't need to start actively trying to push back against that type of rhetoric in your head by saying, okay, if that one failed, that does not mean everything will fail. Yes, things could go wrong, but they can also go right. So for me, I don't really believe in karma, that your past actions will come back to really hurt you, or probably what you did in past will
Yeah.
just come back to hurt you automatically. Like the universe is against you.
Yes.
For me, the universe is not really against universe is not against anybody,
No.
because the universe is made up of so many distinct pieces that are not even working in relation to each other.
Yeah.
So those things, those particular situations that we are going through, it could be as a result of different things. But most people, they just don't want to find out, okay, what is actually the cause behind all these things. And these particular business ventures that I actually undertook, were they actually viable to begin with? Let's say, like, most people, they don't prepare to fail. We just feel like when we fail, that is the end.
Yeah.
Or probably that is, yes, that is the end of the road. But it's not exactly the end of the road. There are some solutions that do not work, and we must agree upon that.
Yeah.
If you as a business person, as a human being, there are some particular answers that will never fit into some questions. If you see filling the gap, yes, there are particular words that could enter into that gap, but there are some that will never fit into context. So for us, once we try, for people, once they try the particular few answers that they know they try to fill it into the gap and it does not work. They just feel like, okay, definitely the universe is against us. You not see that other person, probably person answered that question and he filled in the gap and it worked for him. So why isn't it working? Why isn't it working for me? Definitely the universe must be against me. So again, that person is going through a very, very different situation than you. The way I've noticed one thing, that the way we look at people, probably successful people, people ahead of us, like we just think that good things just happen to them.
Yes, all the
they are
time.
moving, so they are moving without any stress.
Yeah, without
But
any
I
negativity.
where I found out that where I saw something, like I was walking by a road, I was passing while we were writing exams last year.
Okay.
When I wanted to cross,
Okay.
I saw a vehicle. The vehicle, while it was coming at me, I could hear it. I could hear the car, the engines revving. You know that when the engines are loud like that, you know that they are under stress. But immediately I crossed the road, I looked at the same car again, just looked at it was going without any stress. Like it was just accelerating smoothly. Like it was as if there was nothing holding it back. But if you get close to that particular vehicle, you'll see that it was actually moving with stress. Like it was struggling to move so fast. But once you are at a distance from it, you suddenly feel like, okay, it is. If you even look at different moving objects around you, like probably birds flying, you feel that the birds are not putting any energy.
Yes,
but
so
birds actually spend a lot of their energy into that flight. So again, that is just one particular. So most people feel like when they are going through situation, when they feel that it's scammer, they feel like, okay, particular people in their fields are accomplishing particular things. So why is that same particular thing, good luck, not happening to them? Why is it that they are facing the bad side of everything?
Yeah.
So the reason why, when you are facing the bad side of everything, there's an explanation for every situation. And the situations you are facing or the challenges you are facing are different from what that other person is facing. The person might never even face the same challenges that you faced, first of all, to begin with. So you, now that you are facing your own challenges, you are not the same as that other person. You need to ask yourself, okay, where are these challenges come from, and how can I solve them, or how can they be stopped, or can these challenges, can these roadblocks be avoided at all? So you need to begin to ask yourself particular questions about the certain thing. Become a philosopher. You must become a philosopher if you must live this life peacefully. Because if you want to have peace of mind, I think I try to reason this thing. Peace of mind does not actually come when all the problems around you are actually solved. Because again, new problems pop up and
all the time.
Over time, problems they come and they go. So if you are waiting for, say, everything around you should be perfect before you get peace of mind, it will never come. But you can only have peace of mind when your mind knows how to give answers, or how to provide solutions, or how to properly address things as they come. So if you face a situation and you can address it properly, whether, let's say, the situation is out of your control, it is something that you cannot really change or do something, if you give your mind that, okay, this particular thing is out of my hand, it is not up to me, then first of all, you have solved one particular problem where you are not a problem or you are not a failure. That is the first problem that you solve through such an answer that, okay, this thing is actually out of my hand, because whether or not we admit it, there are many things that are actually out of our hands that we personally cannot provide the solutions to. So until you begin to know or begin to find out which things you can actually provide solutions to yourself or not, that is when you can now begin to say, okay, this this one I can solve, this one I cannot solve. Not being able to solve a problem is not a failure on your part. It just means that probably you have seen that, okay, this thing is truly out of my hand. And since it's truly out of your hand, you can now pay more attention to the ones that you know, okay, these are the ones that I can go full steam ahead on trying to resolve. So there's no such thing, again, there's no such thing as karma, like the universe is against you. The universe is not against you. Try to find out what are the circumstances behind those situations facing you, then try to respond appropriately to them.
Okay, that's a brilliant one. And okay, the next one is the main topic. Are we in a simulation? Like that's so big. Now, before we go over to probably the next question I have here, which we have to run everything very fast now, is this: what do one actually have to do to keep a dream alive? Because we have many people, check the statistics, that this is of students actually in school, and after 20 years what they become. If you check the statistics, man, you find out that we have more students failing and becoming someone else. Either some of them get into cultism or start smoking or this and that, in prison, some end up in prison, different stuff. So what do I those people once had dreams in school. So what happens? Like, what are we actually doing? Like, what do one has to do to keep his or her dreams alive? To make
It's
sure
not
those things
just
become reality. What do like I need just explain what that person needs to do. If the person is watching now, what should I do? If that's what the person is asking, I want to answer that question.
it's not just one particular thing that you do. Again, you need to, again, your mind is your greatest tool. Not
It's, it's the
you can,
biggest tool.
let's say you can, again, there are some, most of those people, the reason why most of them were not able to accomplish their dreams was, let's say, mostly external factors. But if your mind gets to a very developed level, external factors will begin to seem less important to the
Yes,
realization of your dream. They will become
exactly.
less important.
Yeah.
They will still be important to, but they will
uh,
not be like,
mm,
they will not just be that huge
yeah.
mountain standing in front of you. They will
Yeah.
seem like a smaller hill. They will still be a
Exactly.
roadblock, but instead of a mountain, it will be a hill.
Yeah.
So the first thing you need to do is that your mind needs to be flexible, and it needs to be able to adapt to interpret situations better.
Yeah.
It's only, like I explained, like I've said before, it's only when you interpret these situations better to yourself, like try to get all the facts down, that is
Yeah.
when you can now respond to it. So most of them, they had dreams or they had plans that
Mm.
probably once I graduate, probably I will get a job and
And do
do
this.
this
Like,
and
why
do
is it
this.
dying? And we need to solve this
Then
problem. I'm coming. We need to solve this problem. Like, if this is what we can solve, I will end this stuff. We continue another day. I don't care. We need to solve this problem. Dreams are dying. Some people have this dream of building apps, doing different stuff. When I go to school, I'll do this. But majority of them are dying every day. What should a person do? You said something which is very important, which I use all the time. Like, I know the reason now. Like, I seem to care less about my external environment. Why? It's because I've trained my mind, and the truth is, I really trained my mind. I read a lot of books, a lot of audio books, many of them. The Science of Being Great. Go read that book if you're watching. Science of Being Great by Wallace D. Water. Just search for it. It's on YouTube for free. The Science of Being Great. The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. The Richest Man in Babylon. Think and Grow Rich. Go read those books, please. I train my mind. That's why external factors seem less important to me. That's very, very not just brilliant. There's no word for that.
okay.
It's So
Okay?
continue.
The next thing that you need to do again is to show up every day. Like I think the first podcast that we had, I said this: show up every day.
Yeah.
So I think showing up every day. The reason why it's important is that yes, there are times when even let's say you have not even gotten, you are nowhere near the realization of your dream or realization of fulfillment of your plan.
Yeah.
You are still in the grassroots, but even in the grassroots, you are already struggling to even get up at all. So showing up every day will help you build your passion, whether or not it's convenient or not. Whether you show up or probably if let's say you are trying to design a business, whether you have the money or the resources or not, always make sure that you take pen, paper, everything. Just try to get as much down as possible. Try to learn as much about that particular business, or try to reiterate. Just try to get creative with it every single day. Whether you have the resources to realize it or not. I'll give you my own personal experience
Yeah.
in developing my own company. And I started 5 years ago. I saw a software to design things like I did.
Okay.
It was Corel Draw, where you can use it to design things.
Yeah.
So I love designing. So I thought of, okay, what if since a lot of people don't actually have access to full desktop systems
Yeah.
or laptops, more people have phones. What if people can design with the phones that they already have? That was 5 years ago. But I hit the first problem. First of all, I did not know software programming. I had never done programming at all.
Okay.
Then the second problem was, okay, how do I even begin? Since Corel Draw, the company behind Corel Draw, Corel, they have thousands of employees that make these products. I'm just one person. I have zero resources. I have zero funding. I have absolutely nothing to even begin with.
Yeah.
So, how do I begin? So the first thing that I first started doing was, okay, I just started going online. I started checking Corel, started taking screenshots of different applications for designing. I started learning as much as I could. Software, I just started going online, reading different articles, just going through, reading every single thing about software as much as I could. I did not still have any of all these resources.
Yeah.
There are times when I say, okay, let me just give up. There are times where, say, for particular months, I would not actually put in much into it, but immediately I went back and probably someone designed app after I used it for a couple of minutes or some time. My passion for that thing would reignite again. Then I'll go back, I'll begin learning more and more and more. And this is the fifth year. I still don't have the resources to do it, but I have come a very, very, very long way from when I started 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Why will I say I've come a long way? Now, I actually know software programming. I don't still know how to code it. Like, I don't have the solution for the app yet.
Yeah.
But I know what I would use, everything that I would need for it, how the process would go. I don't still have the complete process, but I already know that, okay, if I should begin now, if the resources should come now, I know I have
Exactly
done
what
about
to do.
50%, more than 50% of the work are already.
Yeah, that's
on the interface, every single thing. So once the resources come now,
you just know what to do.
Like I'm building a house out of Lego.
Yeah.
I'll just be putting the pieces together. And probably those areas that I did not understand, I will just simply be filling the gaps. Because over time, I have consistently, even though I did not do it every day, there are times when I will say, okay, probably for a whole week, I will just get tired and say, okay, I don't still have what I need. Probably the things that I was managing before, you were breaking down. I think my laptop that I was managing has been breaking down consistently. And that was, it could not even run at full capacity before.
So that's a reason to quit too. That's a reason to quit because people always have excuses. Yes. That's a reason to quit. Yes. Like many people, for me, the reason I will never quit is things like this. Let me share my YouTube experience. I have over 160 videos now. And what really helped me in my YouTube experience is that I just got a video, luckily, because there are few YouTubers telling you the truth on YouTube concerning how to make your channel grow. There are few. I just got a video on of Eric Thomas. He was telling his son was saying something. He said he was having over 100 videos, and the videos were not getting any views. You won't see YouTubers today telling you that truth. So one day you talk about showing up every day. So I just always show up all the time because I have all that valuable information about YouTube too. Like I'm so grateful for getting this information. I just every day showing up. Then a day came, I just checked my YouTube Studio app, and you know what I saw? I saw one of my videos getting over 1,000 views. I didn't even share it. Like that, I was so surprised. Like to the extent I was even doubting, like this can't be true. You know, to that extent. That's to tell you to the extent I wish I fought for it. But many people did not fight to that extent. They just quit. They don't fight for it. Like all these videos I put on my channel, when I grow up and give birth to kids, I would tell my children, hey, go and watch those videos to see who your father is. To see that he inspired the world at the age of 20. He inspired the world when he was 19 years old. So if I did it, you can do it. That's a huge source of inspiration to them. When they get that kind of information, they are going to do powerful things. So I see people should inspire people, inspire the world, seem to inspire the world. Don't just quit. Like if you have money right now, you know exactly what to do. If I have money, I know exactly what to do for me not to ever run dry. For my money not to ever run dry. I know exactly what to do. Why? I spend time failing. I spent time trying to understand how my stuff work. I spend a lot of time on that. So I know what to do if money comes. What about you watching? You just think, just put money into business. If they give you money now, you just do this and that. Like, it doesn't work that way, pal. So, you can continue, Patrick. We got some free time. We got enough time.
No, like I said, my laptop that I explained was already not that great.
Yeah.
Keyboard that I was using to type spoiled. The internet that I was using to browse spoiled.
Wow.
Touchpad stopped working.
That's a schizo. That's a reason to quit for many people.
Exactly. This laptop now became excessively slow that if I boot it up sometimes some things would not run. I'm still with that same laptop now, but the last money with me, I went to buy a new keyboard, buy new mouse, buy new this thing too, or just to keep on going. Yes, I am not still seeing the lights at the end of the tunnel, but if I give up, I will never see it.
You never see it. You never see the dream.
The reason why most people give up is that they see that okay, everything is failing. Yes, things are failing. Things like for me, again to do software development or to do that, you need the laptop now. Yes, what I need, the only resource that I had that was not that good was already going down. But if I should just give up now, that would kill my dream. And probably another thing that people don't see is that they are waiting for all the resources to come before they plan. But if all the resources come and you don't have a plan, you will squander that money or you will squander all the resources.
Yeah.
Because that is when you will now begin to say, okay, what will I do with this? But if those things should come now, I know what exactly are the pain points and what exactly are the gains or where the money or where all the resources should be channeled into. The areas where this should go, that should go. So these people now, they grew up, or the ones that were going for jobs, they found out that when they came out, there were no jobs.
Yeah.
And that is the reality that we face in Nigeria today.
But they didn't prepare.
33% of
They didn't
33%
prepare.
of the youth are unemployed. So for those people that are looking for jobs, there are very few jobs, so not that there are no jobs, but those jobs will not pay you enough to live.
Yeah,
to
live your
live
dreams.
well, like to live well
God.
above. If you get, you know why they will not pay well? It's because they know that there are other jobs around that are still paying that same level of salary that they are offering. Like where I was working, my boss always, the CEO always used to say that they are the best paying around. How much are they paying? 30,000. But with that same salary, from that same salary, my transport fare alone was about 14,000 naira.
Wow.
So 14,000 out of that money first before total eating they have to do, or total expenses. So probably before month end, even with all the
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to take salary advance
Just
for the
imagine.
next month. So most of them, they can actually, most companies or most businesses, they can actually afford to pay more. But now, the demand of workers is more than, the supply of workers is more than the demand.
The
Did you know
demand.
that even if you live here, there's another person that
That will
will
take your
ready
place
to take that
immediately.
job. So now there's this saturation of workers in Nigeria. That is, there's so
So
much workers but too few jobs. So
okay.
most people now they just graduate from school and they just feel like, hey, once I finish, everything should go well.
I'll just get a
But
job.
things don't go well or things don't go according to your plan. I know I've said in the past that always have a plan.
Yeah.
But you having a plan is not, your plan does not change reality.
At
Your plan
all.
does not predict the
You
future.
are free to plan.
So everything for your plan could fail. Like I did not plan that my laptop would spoil.
Yeah.
Or I did not plan that I would not have money 5 years later to really run this thing through. If our plans were reality, the world would be perfect. Our worlds will be perfect. But what differentiates people that keep on pushing from those that stop is that some people, their minds are not flexible enough to accept
Yes.
that things are not the way they saw it or are not the way they thought they would be. Most people just have this rigid mentality that, okay, if things don't go the way I want, then things can never go well
Again, you
So
just
they
assume.
just accept
And
that
they
fact
think by
until
assuming like that they are doing someone else or they are doing the world or they are doing God. Yeah, like
so
crazy. God.
the thing that is keeping us going on now is that yes, we know that things are not at their best. Other people in our field, they are doing much more that have the resources. They are doing better than we are. But what is keeping us going is that our minds are flexible.
Yeah.
So we know that okay, let's say like you now, there are certain things that you would want to do to make this podcast even better, but you cannot do it now.
Yeah.
So for most people, they will quit. But you now, what you are still
I don't even
moving
care.
on, pushing on is that if I quit, I will never get to where I'm going, first of all. And those things that I am lacking, if I had access to them, that if I had control over them, I would not deny myself those resources. Like if you have money now, you will not stop yourself from spending it on what you truly love.
Yeah.
Or if you have the answer to your question, you would use it already.
But you just don't have it.
We have to realize that yes, things are not going well. But if we actually had the resources that will make them go well, we will use them. So if you stop now, you are only working against yourself. Because one day those resources could come. Probably they may never come, but they could come. There's a great possibility that they will come. But if they come now, you would already be too far behind with your dreams or with everything. I think a couple days ago I just went online in the night. Then I even ran out of money to do subscription. What the subscription is, I was still using to research. I ran out of subscription. That is show up every day. Yes, I was trying to practice. But the things that I was still managing to keep up to show up every day, I was still running out of them. So I just got 25 naira that night. I just went online. I started looking, I started searching. I saw that there are companies, venture capitalists, that are actually looking for startups to invest into.
Okay.
To solve a particular problem in society, there are startups that are offering grants or investment into them. I think all of a sudden my passion or I just shut up instantly. It just went up. So yes, showing up every day is difficult, especially when things seem to be crumbling around.
Yes, but you may find gold.
It's difficult, but you need to keep up for yourself. Because those are your dreams that you have. You have those dreams for a purpose or for the betterment of yourself or betterment of society or to solve a particular problem. So you need to keep up even when it is not convenient. That is what those people don't see. True convenience will never be available. That is what we must accept. Like I explained, there's no such thing as complete peace of mind or everything will just be working perfectly. So we need to accept that and keep up with whatever we're doing. Like when for some days, for some time, I did not have subscription. I think that was a month back. And there were times where I had subscription and I did not know what to do with it. Those times when I had subscription, I could not do research. I could not find out anything. The only thing I had, I think probably let me show you my page now. Can you see this? Can you see this?
Exactly.
Can you see this?
Yes. If you're watching right now.
Those are what I have been writing on. Then probably let me show you another one. This bag now. This bag, you can see books inside.
Yeah.
Most of those books are over, I think most of them should be up to 7 years old now.
Wow.
Older than that, my first idea. I think before I had the idea, you software to writing, my first idea was that I would be drawing, probably I'll work in all these animations, like create cartoons.
Yeah.
So I think most of the things that I have even drawn, say, they are over 10 years old. But I lost most of those papers. So, but I think one thing that I've managed to keep my passion for even more than 10 years later is that I always struggle to show up.
Every day. Even me, I've been able to keep my passion too over the years. And let me just share this before you continue. Now, there's a unique thing that happened recently and lately, and like I do this audiobook of a thing. My own is like kind of invented in some way. So there's a time I published my previous audiobook, What Love Ought to Be. Then I was finding it difficult to publish the next one. I have this one in mind, how to be happy. Like, to do it was so stressful. Because I just picked them. Because I usually write them and paste them in my board, just paste them in the room. So I just picked them out, my papers out, and I just start to read. I was struggling to do it, so I just finished. When I finished everything, I just published. Immediately I published, I started getting clicks, contact on Facebook, United States contacting me, different countries, different foreign contacting me, interested in that stuff. And imagine I didn't take the next step. That is why it's detrimental to your health when you quit. Don't just quit. Imagine I didn't take the next step, I won't see that result. Imagine. So you can continue, you can go on.
I think one thing that we need to realize is that again your brain is the chief controller of everything. So you need to be actively ready to, let's say, how would I put this? Like there's this word. And you need to be ready to actively instigate your brain, that is to put your brain into overdrive every time. You need to stimulate your brain to respond to your dreams better. Like, I think what stimulates me now about my ideas is that I go and I look at other people's work or other things related to that particular thing that I work, even though it's not the same. But I try to follow up their process or just try to learn about what they are doing. It builds up passion for my own thing. So whenever I feel like, okay, probably I should just rest for this week, I should rest for next week, I should not even do anything, I just go more. You must make it this. You must make this conscious decision that okay, I want to do this thing relating to my dream or related to my goals. You must be conscious. You must make it a habit. That okay, if you say you want to be an animator, you want to draw, make sure either you are drawing with a pencil, just start drawing anything, or look at other people's drawings. Just try to get your interest going again. Yes, we know that it's not easy. It's very, very difficult, especially when things are going down. But try it. Immediately you do it, you'll see that your interest pick up instantly.
That's very important, because with your eyes you connect to your brain. That's why they say the eyes don't see, the brain sees. Although it comes through your eyes, but the brain sees. So with your eyes, like what I use to spark interest, especially in books, is this. If you go to my room, I just see books there, bam, bam, bam. I just open them. Sometimes I just go there, sometimes I just sit down and I just see picture, probably of the brain. You see different designs. Like I just want to look at it. From there, I start to read. So that's what sparked my interest. That's what helps me to go forward. And you got to find your own way. Yours might be different. If you are watching right now, yours might be different. Patrick will need to go over to the next one, right? I love discussing mindset because mindset is everything. Like, if you are starting from scratch, like if you are trying to probably invent something, like mindset is everything. Mindset is the true game. Okay, so I have a question for you, but we don't want to continue on mindset. We have to go back to the next topic. Okay, we'll come to that. I just pray I remember. Okay, if I don't remember, just remind. The question is, when would you advise someone to quit? Like before you got into what you're doing right now, and you have this big dream and you're working on it, life will always give you some pieces of gold around you to show you like it's gonna be good, it's gonna be okay, just keep going. But there are some things you were doing before and you had to quit. Like when would you advise someone to say quit this thing?
Okay,
Wait, we are going to the next one. Keep
okay,
that
I
one.
think you need to, if you need to first probably, before you think of, or when you have a dream, you should look at the dream if it's a viable one. But for you to even have a dream in the first place, or to have it, you already know that, okay, this dream is viable and it's achievable.
Yeah.
So for me to, when I will advise someone to quit is when they die. That is the best time to quit. But other than
Okay.
that, don't quit. Don't
Okay.
quit your dream.
Okay. Yes.
Because, like,
I understand something there, and I just got something there. Like many people think when you go to work, it means you dream. It means that's dream. Going to work, let's say you graduate, you got a job. That is many people think that thing is just might be dream. So dreaming is probably, is there any difference between that? Can you separate, you know what I'm trying? I don't know if you understand. Can you tell me what dream is? Let people understand what dream is.
okay, so dreams are like, how will I explain? Your dream is, how will I put your, is, how will I put it into so that it will be easy
Yeah,
for
we're
you
trying
to
to solve a
understand?
problem
Your
here.
dream is like a cherished desire, that is something your mind craves for. That is, something your mind, it's not necessarily something your mind needs to, but something you desperately crave for, like a desire you cherish. So most people now, they feel like, oh, the reason why our mind cherishes those particular things is probably it excites us. So for your mind to crave something or to love something, it excites the mind. So those dreams now excite the mind, or it excites our body. That's why we crave for them, or we cherish them.
Like I got something just now from what you said, that from the what you said, right, this is a problem being solved. Like what I'm going to tell viewers now is this: if you are in the direction of that craved desire, or that thing you crave for, if you are in that direction, that shows it's a dream. So you must not quit. But if you are in another direction, that's when you quit. Got it. I got it now. So if you are in a different direction, not in your craved desire, then you have to quit. But if you are in the direction of your craved desire, don't quit. Beautiful. Patrick, we have to
So
stop now. We have to go back to the next one we have, okay? Okay, and I'll just take some break. Let me read some quotes out here. Okay. Okay, so here is for the section two. Let's call it section two. Got some quotes here. Number one, I have here just two quotes I just want to share. Number one, failure is failure when you call it so. So failure is not failure. Failure does not actually exist. Failure is failure when you call it failure. The number two I have is, if you learn to use your disappointments, then you will see how good life is. That's it. We have to go over to the next stuff right now. We might not have time to complete everything. Okay, we're stopping very soon. So let's discuss. We've discussed karma, superstition, and mindset. We've talked about mindset. Talk about superstition. So I would like us to talk about the idea of these. Okay, okay. Let's go over to. Are we in a simulation? Are we in a game? Is this life a game? You sleep, you wake up.
Yeah.
It's like something is talking to your head. Like something is making you want to do something. Either through punishment in your head, you get a different kind of stuff. So we don't yet understand what that is, and that's cool. Okay, you're back. And so, are we in a game? Is this life a game?
We are not exactly in a game. We are not in a game actually, but you know what we are in. We or what's why probably we feel everything is repetitive. Is that we are actually living according to patterns. So our habits are actually patterns that we repeat time and time and again.
Yeah.
So when we sleep, we wake up, probably we do that is habits or patterns are from home. Most of them are things that we must do. We must sleep, we must wake up if we are not dead or so those are particular patterns. But when you mean simulation, you mean probably people going in the same direction. So again, I think the world is not still in a simulation again. But when a lot of people are going in a particular direction and they just find themselves going in one direction or following one particular path, it's just that they feel like that particular thing, that particular path that they are following is generally accepted. And if you look at most of the things that are in society today that are now sort of patterns of society, that years back or decades back or even months back, they were not accepted or probably they were not that popular. People were barely going to them. But as more and more people started to do those things and started to normalize those actions, it's now like it's almost a part of society. So we are not in a situation. It's just that as human beings, we tend to build up patterns because again, patterns are easier for the brain to follow.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just a model for the
That's
brain
his
to
aim.
follow. So those are easy for the brain. Instead of trying to come up with
New
a
response.
new path every time, the brain just prefers to pick the already well-known solution. So the the only way to really break out of these so-called patterns now is just to look at if again you must not break out of every pattern because some patterns are actually like
Okay.
sleeping enough, waking up,
That's
probably brushing your teeth, taking your bath.
yeah,
Those are good patterns. But there are some other detrimental patterns to
yeah.
society or probably as to for us as individuals. So the only
Smoking.
way to break those patterns is to you cannot just stop them immediately. You need to start, or society needs to start to try to move away from them gradually. Try to start telling ourselves that okay, these things are not normal, these things are not good. We need to move away. So we are not exactly in a situation. There's nobody really ordering our lives right
Okay.
now. Actually, there is nothing really controlling. We just do the things based on we see that they are acceptable. Like again, another thing, people did not always take their baths in the olden days, or they did
Yeah.
not even brush their teeth.
And
It
yes,
just became a pattern
we developed
that
that
we
behavior
now follow these
because it
days.
helped us to
So
survive better.
exactly. So most of all these things, most people feel like we are a simulation since probably they feel like they don't have control of their lives or control of everything that they do. But again, those things are not exactly true. Most people feel like the world is controlled by this cabal of super rich, super powerful people that are controlling again that are dictating our every move. It's not that again is not true. What is actually happening in life is that we are just simply following patterns. So patterns now are made to govern societies, to govern lives, or our brain makes patterns to us, or
Yeah.
society creates patterns for itself. So cultures and traditions, they are
Yeah.
patterns. They were started one day by particular people, but immediately more and more people began to follow it. They became the culture and traditions of those people. Like probably they will say this tribe they don't do this or this tribe they do that. So those were patterns that they created and they accepted. So when people say they're in a simulation, it means that the patterns were forced on them, or that they just simply follow those patterns without their own say, but it's not actually true. Many of the things we do, we are actually doing them because we want to do them.
Okay, that's really really good. And like one thing I want to share, it just came to my mind from when you were talking is people you watching right now. Like I'm all about mindset most times. Is get an elevated view of who you are. So many people have this shallow view of who they are, very small. That's some people. If you add, let's say, an instrument that we use to measure or check what is in people's mind, we will understand that in people's mind, if you use that instrument on people's mind, you will find that how they see themselves in the brain, in their head, is just like this. They have this shallow view of who they are. Get an elevated view of who you are. It helps. It helps. So
The worst part is that most people's view of who they are is what other people told them. So growing up now, on one thing we need to know is that a lot of people, the only person who truly knows who we are is ourselves.
yeah.
So growing up now, I'm one of all these people. I don't talk much because I don't talk much normally. But
Okay.
people now say that probably I am afraid of talking, or probably.
Eh,
But in reality, the reason why I don't talk much now, I don't like to talk when I don't have what to say. But people
okay.
just take it that they have already reached a conclusion
Yes.
that the reason why some people are quiet or why people don't talk too much is that they are afraid to talk, or probably they always have their own explanation.
Yeah.
But me now, I know why I don't necessarily talk too much, why I don't react too much. That I have my own reasons. I don't want to overreact.
Okay.
Or probably if I don't have something to say, I don't want to waste my mind talking about things I don't feel amazed with. People now have reached that conclusion for them. So that is a bad thing. Letting other people reach conclusion for
For
us
you.
about who we truly are, because we are the one that determine the stakes for what happens in our life. If you let people determine it for you, they don't know you. You might
Yeah.
just let them say, okay, probably this person is more experienced. The person does not know who you are.
Yeah.
The person does not even know what you are capable of doing.
Want to
So if you
be.
let people define who you are, you will never reach your goals, or you will never achieve anything, because you will simply end up where those people want you to be.
And that is so draining. It's so draining. You are giving your power to people. Like some people, since they are hearing the thing coming from this person's mouth, this person's mouth, this person's mouth, they believe it's true. Then it creates this shallow view of who they are in their head. In their heads, they are even smaller than who they are in real life. Like that's so sad. So sad. So Patrick, we got to go over to the next stuff right now. Are we in a simulation? Okay. Now this topic, this is a big topic. Okay. A scientist, we're calling it quiz gradually. A scientist called David Hoffman. We have enough time. Called David Hoffman, and he is trying to say. I want to get your thoughts on this. The David Hoffman is trying to say that space time is doomed, meaning anything you see in this 3D world is not real. David Hoffman is trying to say that we are probably living in this headset. He says he meditates every day for over, I think, it's over 20 years now, every single day. That's what he means. Spend 3 hours doing it. And he said he has observed something in his mind. He said maybe we're living the game. And he gave this example. You know what he said? He said when a butterfly wants to change from the chrysalis into the butterfly changes to the butterfly and it loses all information of what being a chrysalis used to be. Meaning, when it was a chrysalis, it was probably living a kind of different lifestyle. But when it changed into a butterfly, it's living an entirely different lifestyle. So he's trying to say, what if someone is playing the game? That's what he's trying to say. I'm coming, I'm not done. And he also gave another example. He said, not this headset of a thing where you wear and you see some things like reality. Then when you remove it, then you see the reward. Then he says, what if this our life we're seeing right now is just whatever we're doing is like we're in the headset? What if death simply means we're taking away the headset and we're seeing the real world. That's what they say. So I need the thoughts on that. That's where I'm going. Are we in that simulation? Are we in a game? Is some aliens? Have you watched Free Guy? If you watch Free Guy, you understand this properly. Free Guy.
I've seen
Yeah, that movie explains it really well. When you have people playing playing this game and just trying to watch people, they were in the game. To them it was real, oh, but to the people who were simulating them, they knew it was big fake. It's just like the PS2. We're talking about PS3. So the question now is, you ask yourself is, what if the Grand Theft Auto, that CG, you just give yourself this. We know they're programmed. Let's give yourself this. What if though that CG is conscious, and what if we are still in this our simulated environments too, where we think it's real, but to the people simulating us, these guys are cartoons. So what do you think about that?
For me, I doubt that we are definitely not in a simulation. You
Okay.
know why? Because people, particularly that example I gave of the butterfly transforming, I think that was an evolution of the mind. The
Okay.
mind had to adapt to change. Because if the mind did not, if the mind of the butterfly does not adapt to this new change, you know that it was always crawling. So if it still goes on with that mindset that it's still a chrysalis, it will never fly. But now it has wings to fly. So the mind actually evolves to go on with this new situation. So that example of the butterfly is
But you agree that, but you agree that a force caused that evolution.
Yes, but you know,
So what's
if
that
we're
force?
you know why I don't think we're in a simulation
Alright.
is that the force that actually caused it was not a force, it was the mind of the butterfly.
Okay.
So, like you explained, you said something at the beginning. You said how we perceive our situation is what it is. So even if there's any simulation of any kind, it's all in our head.
Yeah, it's
all in our
funny.
own heads. It's not like there's this grand master plan. It's our mind that is running the simulations. How we are perceiving the environment.
Okay.
That is our own simulation. We are the ones simulating the environment. So there's not this one grand mastermind somewhere pushing controllers, controlling us all around the world. We are the ones actually
Creating the
if there's
simulation.
anything like a simulation, it's all in our head.
No, it's
So
that's brilliant.
yeah.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Like I said, something like that's a brilliant one. Like your mind is what is creating your own simulation. Period. So, like that's question answered. Okay, I don't have what to say again. Like what I always say is dream too big. Let your dream be too big to the extent that when you want to do certain things, like your friends tell you to smoke, you think about your dream. So that's like any bad thing you want to do, your mind is gonna tell you, hey, that thing. Like dream too big. Have you ever dreamt of going to Mars someday? Like I'll grow up, all this space station. Like, like it's so.
Too close. Yeah, who traveled out of the solar system? They are calling Mars. You know the thing. If humanity truly wants to push edge of innovation,
Yeah.
we need to. It's our dreams that guide our actions.
Yeah.
If you don't dream, you will not walk towards. You will not advance towards the. Your actions will not go. So, like you said, dreams are the feelings. Feelings evoke actions. Actions evoke consequences.
Yeah.
So until you dream, you will not walk towards it.
Yeah.
I see Elon Musk now is building the spaceship to go to Mars. Starship. If he did not dream of it,
he would never. He would be in that direction. He wouldn't be going in that direction if he didn't dream of it.
The first moon landing when the Apollo landed, when the first two people went on the moon. I think most people was actually during period of war when Russia first released Sputnik 1.
Yeah.
Sputnik 1 took man into space. He just went around the world.
Yeah.
So America now.
Yes, America. Yeah. What power? We were trying to compete.
We want to put men on the moon. So within 10 years, man had never gone outside the world before until that point.
Those dreams.
10 years, they asked the amount of technology that came into play and the building of it within just 10 years was so revolutionary that he put two men for the first time in over millions of years on another planet, on another body. So your dreams, again, your dreams can never be too big. Just let them keep going.
Just let go.
As you keep
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
you will find out that you are learning more.
And
And
don't doubt the
probably,
possibility, because take this for instance. The time a plane like had not come that time. Do you know that time if you told somebody, hey, I want to build something that can fly in the air, they will look at you as a fool at that time. But people made it a reality.
yes,
Planes we have today were at one time something that seemed impossible, but now they are possible. So this message to those doubting their dreams or doing those kind of stupid stuff, having limited views and blah blah blah. Get rid of all those things. Whatever you have is possible. Period. That's what we have. Okay, so let's talk about we soon quit or we're running out of time right now. Let's talk about Bitcoin for example. The reason I said say we should talk about this Bitcoin of 18 is this. We have many, the problem of the society that many parents are shouting is G, Yahoo, and other stuff right now. If you are watching this stuff from another country, the Yahoo simply means scamming people, doing some kind of another way to make money that people don't even know. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, so Yahoo, that's what they call it here. So now, Patrick, I need you to understand. I need you to let me know. I need to talk about this Bitcoin of 18 because I have some people. I saw something on my start. I have people I send messages to. Okay, and they also view my status. Blah 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 blah. And I also see their status sometimes. Many of them. So I view one status of someone like I know the person though. She's trying to talk about this boyfriend of 18 and like the boyfriend is a Yahoo boy, but I don't know if she had conversation with him, and he later now she's not saying the boy sells gift card and Bitcoin. So I don't know if he's trying to to me he's trying to use this Bitcoin as I don't understand what he's trying to use as cover up. So I need to understand what this Bitcoin is about. Let people understand. Let's differentiate it. What can Bitcoin turn you into? Can it make you, the way they do it here now, overnight? Bah! Can this Bitcoin do that
yes,
for you? And even if it does that for you, would you be stupid enough to throw your money in the ground? Does Bill
okay,
Gates throw his money anyhow? I don't understand. What do we need to do? I need to talk about this Bitcoin. Now, do we need to
so,
educate people on how to use money? Is that what we need to do? I need to understand about this stuff before we go forward.
okay. First, let me first define money, and before after I define money, then you will get where Bitcoin comes in as a role.
Okay.
So basically, money serves three purposes.
Okay.
First of all, it's a store of value. Store of value means that you get your salary paid in money, or whenever you and somebody do a business, you get paid in money or in naira, for example. So it is storing the value that you earn. So next, money is used used as a medium of exchange,
Yeah.
which replaces the old systems of trade by barter. Because trade by barter system, let's say you wanted a house, you will need to probably you need to exchange tuber of yam for that thing. But it's not an efficient system because let's say you want to buy something like a piece of land.
Okay.
How many tubers of yam can you actually transport?
Yeah.
And where will you find somebody that really wants the tuber of yam that you have? So money now, money replaces that system where instead of you exchanging the particular commodity directly, you are not giving that person your store of value.
Okay.
As you are exchanging the store of value in exchange for whatever goods or actually measured in money. You know that you want to hire a plumber, you pay money, let's say 10,000 naira. If you go to the market, everything you buy is calculated in money. Nobody will say, okay, bring this or that thing.
Yeah.
Everything is. So those are the three uses of money.
Yeah.
Use a medium of exchange, unit of account,
Yeah.
and store of value.
Yeah.
So for thousands of years now, money has always existed in that form.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin now is a form of digital currency.
Okay.
Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency that runs on a distributed ledger. Let me break that down for you. So when it means decentralized, it means that control is not in the hands of one entity, company, government, or company. It's actually distributed all around the world. So the Bitcoin I will go more
It's like
about it.
wait,
So
let me
money
ask a
now,
question if I'm understanding. It's like unifying all money we have, all monies we have, isn't it?
yes,
It's
yes,
like instead of having dollar, naira, you just have Bitcoin.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So let me tell you what differentiates Bitcoin from those other, apart from it being
Mm.
digital, because you can also make the naira digital. So
Okay.
the naira now is controlled by the Central Bank of Nigeria. They're not
Nigeria.
responsible for printing it on demand.
Okay.
Like whenever money is needed in the economy, they are not responsible for creating it. So Bitcoin now is that system. The naira is said to be centralized because
Yeah.
the central bank controls it.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin now, there is no central bank.
Okay.
It is all code. So how Bitcoin relates to normal naira again is that it is the value that we give to it that actually is what is what. That is how much faith we put into the currency. That is what the currency is actually worth. Like the naira, previously before the naira was even created, other currencies they were backed by gold. So we are on a gold standard. It means that for every dollar, or every pound that every note that they created, an equal amount of gold was in the bank. But they removed this system because without them increasing their supply of gold, they will not be able to print more money.
Okay.
But again, that is risky. I will explain why it's risky. Because let's say government wants to do a huge project in Nigeria and they need more money. They will not be able to print more without making more deposit of gold into the bank.
Yeah.
So they now abandon that system. Then they switch to the system of fiat currency. So almost every single currency we see today is a fiat currency. So fiat currencies are currencies that are not backed by anything. They are simply backed by the faith of the people in that jurisdiction, in that particular currency. So the naira now is deeply reflecting the value of how people see our economy in Nigeria, while the dollar is simply a reflection of how people see the American economy. So the reason why the value of the naira currently is falling now is that the Nigerian economy is not that strong. So people don't have much faith in it. So they will not want to really exchange more. They will not, like, they have goods. They will demand more naira because now they feel like their goods is worth more naira. But if the economy is stronger, people would not want you will not want to give too much naira away because you feel like the naira is much more valuable. So currencies now, normal currencies for countries, they are fiat currencies that are backed by the faith of the people in the currency. Why Bitcoin now, since Bitcoin is decentralized, that is, there is no central bank creating the money.
Yeah.
Bitcoin now operates on code entirely. So what makes Bitcoin unique is that it has this distributed ledger. From economics, you might recall that a ledger is where all transactions in a particular organization are recorded. That is money that came in and money that went out. So that ledger in Bitcoin, the Bitcoin blockchain, I will explain what the blockchain is distributed. So the blockchain now is simply a collection of ledgers joined together. That is, think of the blockchain as the book. The blockchain is the whole ledger. The blockchain is the whole book. So each page in the book, you know that every page in every book is definitely connected to the next one.
Yeah.
They are joined together. So each page now is called a block. And each block is chained together. How are they chained together? You know that after page 1 is page 2. After page 2 is page 3. So how the Bitcoin blockchain works is that, let's say I send 1 Bitcoin to you. It is recorded on that blockchain of Patrick had 1 Bitcoin in his wallet and he transferred it to you. Recorded. So when that particular page or when that particular block is filled, or after a particular time, either the block is filled or after a certain amount of time, they will change over to the next page. So as they are changing over to the next page will contain a reference to the previous page. So it is said that those 2 pages now are chained together. So the blockchain now is simply a distributed ledger of transactions chained together. So the people, since the control of the blockchain now is decentralized, it is individuals now that are in charge of actually noting which transactions are legitimate or not. So that the blockchain will not allow false transactions to go through. It means that if I don't have one Bitcoin in my wallet, I cannot send one Bitcoin to you. That is a false transaction. So the people responsible for all these things, they are called miners. The miners now are the ones responsible for it. They are like accountants in the bank. They are the ones checking. They will check if this person actually has the amount in his wallet that he wants to send, and if the wallets that are sending that are taking part in the transaction are actually legitimate. So in so doing that, it's called this thing consensus. So the consensus simply means that the miners now have reached an agreement on which transactions are legitimate or not. So these miners now are responsible for keeping the state of the blockchain. That is, they are not responsible for coordinating all the transactions on the blockchain. So what makes Bitcoin unique now is that central bank now, only banks that have record of most of all the transactions that they hold. But yes, you could apply for a statement of account, but it does not hold all the information about those particular transactions that went through. So what makes Bitcoin unique is that every single miner now has a copy of that ledger
transaction.
So yeah, so everybody now has a copy of all the transactions. So no one person cannot just come and say this person have 100 Bitcoin in his wallet, because everybody has their own transaction. Everybody's looking at the book. So if you say this person wants to transfer 1 Bitcoin to that one, everybody now will check their own books round, because this person actually have it. So once a miner checks his own record and see that okay, this transaction is true, he will approve it. Once he approves it, the blockchain will say this particular transaction has been verified or has been validated. So the more validations the transaction has, the more reliable that transaction is. So you as a person now, for you to partake in that particular blockchain, for example, now you need a wallet. So you can actually be just a user, or you could apply as a miner. But to be a miner, you need, in the Bitcoin blockchain now, you need a powerful computer. The reason why a powerful computer is needed is because to actually solve most of the transactions, the computers need to do complex mathematics, relies on cryptography. So cryptography now, are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, I am following.
So cryptography is a way of hiding information that only the intended recipient can get it. Like, let's say I want to send you a secret message now. The two of us will have a particular code. So I would now encode my message with that secret code that we have and send it to you. That even if another person gets a copy of the coded message, they will not be able to interpret it and understand the original message. So to validate transactions now, the Bitcoin miners, their computers need to solve the messages that are the coded transactions that are going through. So the first miner that solves it gets a reward, so that you will not be like you are just wasting your computer resources for no reason. So as a miner now, there are actually financial incentives. The financial incentives are that you get paid for confirming transactions, and also, if you are the first miner to create a new page or to create a new block, you get an incentive. So while for users, the best draw for users, because now Bitcoin is not the only cryptocurrency there. So cryptocurrencies now are digital currencies that use cryptography to secure their operations. Like I have explained, you already know the meaning of cryptography and digital currencies. Yes. So cryptocurrencies use cryptography to secure their operations. There are many cryptocurrencies now. So cryptocurrencies now can replace Bitcoin. Can replace our normal currencies in every single way possible. And it also has many more advantages. You can use them as medium of exchange, store of value, and unit of account. Those are the cryptocurrencies can replace money in that extent. Also, the other additional advantages that cryptocurrencies have is that it's decentralized. So the particular economy of one country, of one state, will not affect the value too much. There's this decoupling between the economy country and what's actually happening as well. So let's say the economy of Nigeria is going down. That will not drive the value of Bitcoin down.
Okay.
The economy of America is going down. That will not drag the value of Bitcoin down. So
Now
it's
I
almost like
understand.
Bitcoin is immune to the economy of particular countries.
Country.
So that now is there to be a better draw or better store of value over time than fiat currencies, because when the economy in a particular country is going down, that country's currency, the value will also go down. So probably before now, what people use as a store or long-term store of value was gold. People, actually investors, they don't actually hold, even in America, they don't actually hold large amounts of the dollar or US dollar. The reason why they don't hold is that in times of uncertainty, the value of all these currencies drop.
Yeah.
And everything begins to drop. So investors now will start pushing their money into gold. But now that cryptocurrencies have come now, cryptocurrencies are offering advantages over gold. So most people are calling Bitcoin digital gold because it's easier to transport. You don't need to physically carry it around. You could have it on your phone and you could send it easier. It's easier to transact with it. And let's say if you want to find a buyer, it's easier to exchange for commodities. You just need a phone and a wallet. So also another advantage that cryptocurrencies are giving is that you don't need to rely on a bank or a middleman to connect you to financial services. You just need your phone and your wallet. It will actually encourage or allow people in remote regions, like in villages, to be able to transact with people living in the towns without, because in most of those villages deep down in remote regions, you don't have access to financial services. Now, cryptocurrencies now are not driving financial inclusion, both for areas where they are not really, like for banks to really come to an area, there should be probably business is booming in that area. Most of those regions, remote regions, they don't have many of those big businesses. So banks are not there. If most of them want to do certain transactions, they'll need to go to cities or towns to banks there to do their transactions. But cryptocurrencies now are now giving them the ability to transact without them going through a bank. So financial inclusion. Also, cryptocurrencies are also giving people the ability to experiment. Like blockchain, blockchains are bringing so many good ideas. First of all, is smart contracts. So smart contracts now came with the Ethereum cryptocurrency. What these smart contracts are is simply a piece of code that, let's say, the two of us want to buy and sell a piece of land. Normally, you know that we would need to write a contract, blah blah blah. When you transfer the money to me, you get the land.
Yeah.
But a smart contract now will now replace that written contract, and it will be on the blockchain. So basically, the smart contract now will eliminate the third party. So once, let's say, we finish exchanging what needs to be exchanged, the contract will be completed automatically. Like buying recharge card, for example, online. You simply transfer the money to the contract. The contracts now will not give you what you paid for. So these smart contracts now will now allow more people to gain access to not just financial services, but other services at a cheaper rate and at a much more efficient rate. Because now there's no more middleman, because they are decentralized. You no longer require a third party to go through. Like if you, for me now, I use cryptocurrencies a lot. I barely hold any actual cash if I actually have money. The reason is because if I barely have an issue with cryptocurrencies. Like if I want to send or transact, you know that sometimes banks, they tend to go offline, and within that period you'll not be able to transact. But with cryptocurrencies, they never go offline. There's a 95% chance that they will never go offline. There are some few edge cases, a majority of them have never gone offline since they were created. So again, you never run into this issue where you will now need to start contacting a third party that, okay, I can no longer access this with my account. This one, you are now your own bank, basically. You control your own money.
Yeah,
Control every single thing. So
Okay.
at any time, you can store, receive, send, you can do whatever you want with your cryptocurrency. So
Okay.
also, cryptocurrencies now or blockchain-based technologies are the future. I think you should begin to look more into it. I
Yeah.
don't know if you have heard of this guy, Gary V.
No.
Gary V is the guy is an inspirational talker, speaker. The guy he has actually been he has been bullish on cryptocurrencies recently. So
Uh,
cryptocurrencies are actually the future. You know why I say they are the future? That they will make like those other advantages that I've been given since
mm,
financial inclusion, cheaper access to services, elimination of middlemen, and probably all round entry, let's say better services at a cheaper rate. So more used as medium of money. They are still what we call, I don't know if you need to research most of these things called
yeah.
metaverse.
Metaverse.
So
I've
the
heard about
metaverse
it.
now,
I've not.
yes, I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yes,
what the
actually.
metaverse is like, metaverse is like a simulation,
Okay.
but this simulation now will be controlled by you. Basically, you will get an avatar, or an avatar is basically a character that
Yeah.
you control in the simulation, just like
Yes.
in Free Guy. So
Mm.
in this metaverse now, everybody that registers for that particular platform will get their own avatar to control.
Okay.
The avatar will most likely be a cartoonish representation of yourself, or it could even resemble yourself identically.
Yeah.
So you will now be able to control your avatar in that metaverse to do things like you could attend virtual meetings. Like instead of us even holding this podcast over Google Meet now, we could
Okay.
hold the podcast in the metaverse where our two avatars can
Wow.
actually sit at a 3D table and actually talk. It's a concept that's actually being developed currently as we speak. Some are actually in testing right now.
Wow.
So cryptocurrencies now are even encouraging that thing. I think one of them is Sand Metaverse. Another one is Decentraland. Even Facebook has their own Oculus with a virtual reality goggles where
Wow.
you can hold meetings where as soon as you put it on, you can hold virtual meetings where you know that if you want to hold meetings, either you need video call or audio.
Yeah.
But this one now, everybody will put on their goggles, then they will be sitting in their avatars. They will be able to see each other in
Wow.
this virtual room. So
It's exciting. It's exciting to talk about this stuff.
companies are pouring billions and billions of dollars into. So cryptocurrencies now, that's another spectrum of the cryptocurrency universe.
Okay.
Another part is NFTs, which means non-fungible tokens. So a non-fungible token is simply a token or an item that is irreplaceable by another one. Like let's say your shirt that you're wearing now.
Okay.
You know that the person that made your shirt probably they made hundreds of it, and you can easily exchange one for another.
Okay.
So your shirt is said to be fungible because you can replace one with another. So a non-fungible token is now when, let's say, your shirt now was now signed by somebody you adore, or let's say President of America now signed your shirt, signed autograph on your shirt.
Okay.
You will no longer want to replace your shirt with another. Your shirt now is now a non-fungible token because you cannot replace it with another identical thing and still get the same value in return. So relating to cryptocurrencies now, or to the virtual world now, digital assets now can now be made into NFTs. Like artists now are now selling their artwork as digital tokens, as NFTs. Previously, as an artist in Nigeria, like whether you are drawing or making music, you barely get enough compensation for the work you create. But if you now sell this your artwork, either song, picture, or videos as an NFT, you are not getting access to a worldwide market of people around the world that can pay for your artwork in a particular cryptocurrency. So previously, you'll be relegated to only probably dealing locally, trying to find buyers around for your particular artwork. But now you are getting easier access to a broader market, all from your cryptocurrency wallet. All you just need to do is connect your cryptocurrency wallet to a particular site. The site will allow you to digitize your artwork or your video or your audio and sell it.
Okay, that's really good. I understand it very
So
well.
all these now are the forefronts of cryptocurrency. So these are, if you look at, I don't know, if you research more about these things, you'll see, you
Mm,
actually see that these are going to form the basis of the future.
in the future.
Let me just debate on that side again. More and more companies now are using the blockchain for storing information.
Okay.
The reason why they are using the blockchain for storing information, like relating to their supply chains, like companies making phones, for example, to get all those parts now. The information about their supply chains now, they are not storing it in particular blockchains. The reason why they are storing it in blockchains is that a blockchain, that kind of blockchain is said to be immutable. That is, it cannot be edited. Once you put it in, you cannot edit it.
Okay.
So it is stored once forever. So nobody can go there and corrupt the information. So that is just another particular use of cryptocurrencies or the blockchain. So there are many, many, many uses. Also, most people like myself too, we trade cryptocurrencies. So this cryptocurrency trading is simply simply an exchange of value. Most people they don't understand. Most people think that it's scamming or that it's simply robbing Peter to pay Paul. No, it's more than that. It is just simply two parties exchanging value.
Value.
Like let's say you buy a house now at 1 million naira. If you want to sell that house or sell that piece of land,
In
you don't want to sell it
Bitcoin.
at that 1 million naira. You want to add profit to it.
Okay.
So you want to sell it for 1.2 million naira, for instance. So immediately you sell that house for 1.2 million naira, the house now is worth 1.2 million naira. If another person buys it and resells it for 2 million naira again, that house will now be worth 2 million naira. So people now exchange value based on how much people now buy and sell based on how much value they give to particular items. So trading is not something that is unique to cryptocurrencies. People trade rice, people trade corn, people trade everything. Everything is actually traded. Like when you go to buy certain commodities in the market, and you see you want to buy Gare, the woman calls that okay, this basket of Gare is 2,000 naira. Do you think no, it's too expensive? That is because you feel like the Gare is not valuable enough to
To
be
get
worth
that
2,000
price.
naira. So you say I will give you 1.5.
Less.
Immediately you give the woman 1.5 now, you have just simply transferred the value. But
Okay.
the woman
That
accepts it for you.
wait,
She
let
has
me get
simply
it right.
received
So
the
that
value.
is how Bitcoin is too.
Yes. So
Okay.
people once I sell and somebody buys at the amount at which I sell, it will not be worth the amount at which the person bought.
Okay,
So
now I
most people think that
understand.
the price just keeps going up. The price is going up because people are buying. People are not just buying based on because it's Bitcoin. People are buying based on the value that they are giving into it. Same as with this thing. Same as with the naira and the dollar. I think that is what most people don't know. This is important financial information that most people don't have.
People are thinking they are buying because it's Bitcoin. They are buying because it's because of the value, right?
Yes, they are buying because of the value that they are giving to it.
Okay.
So most people feel like it is something that is unique to cryptocurrencies. No. Do you know why the naira against the dollar is worth 411 naira? It is not because it was just suddenly fixed at that amount. It's because people in America now that probably wanted to trade here in Nigeria and wanted to exchange their dollar for naira. They say, okay, I have $1. Our economy is stronger than your own in Nigeria. I will not give you $1 for 1 naira exactly because our economy is far stronger than your own.
You have to increase your naira
$1 and you will give me 400 naira. So you now here in Nigeria, you now look at it that okay, what this person is saying is true. So immediately those people exchange it now.
It says
$1 now is equal to 400 naira. But if the person refuses and say no, I will not give you
then
for
it goes
400
down.
naira.
That's why I say dollar.
350. That is $1 should be equal to 350. Once they carry out that trade, $1 now will now
becomes
equal to
350.
So that is exchange of value. So exchange of value now is good for people that are trading. We are people like us or people that trade it. We are called spectators because there are other particular, like I explained, there are other uses for cryptocurrencies apart from just exchanging value. Like you can exchange cryptocurrencies for commodities. Like you can use your Bitcoin to buy corn, use it to buy rice, use it to buy phones, and all those things. But other people like traders, they exchange cryptocurrencies for money based on value. Like I could buy Bitcoin now at 40,000 naira. Then later, when Bitcoin is worth probably 100, you will sell it. Also,
Okay, I
Bitcoin now.
understand well now. Okay.
Bitcoin can make you rich actually.
Okay.
Or cryptocurrency, they can make you rich because now these cryptocurrencies are.
But wait, I'm coming. Let me get you. Wait.
solutions to.
Let me get you. It can make you rich depending on the value, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what people should understand.
So,
depending on the value.
Yes. So let me explain what I mean. So let's say you buy like naira now. Most people like all these aboki, most of them buy and sell naira, buy and sell dollar. They're actually making a commission for those exchanges that they are making. So once you are trading cryptocurrencies or you're dealing with cryptocurrencies directly, you are also making a profit from the differences. Like if an aboki buys naira, let's say you have dollars to sell, he will buy from you at probably 450 and sell at 500. So that difference now, that is his profit. So once you are trading cryptocurrencies now, you are buying cheap and selling higher. And the reason why you are able to buy cheap and sell higher to someone else is because that person feels that that person is buying based on the value that they feel that they are getting from their purchase.
Okay.
So Bitcoin now, when I saw Bitcoin in 2017, Bitcoin was around 40,000 naira. But now Bitcoin is around 20-something million naira.
Wait, let me get you clearly. Let's talk about that more. You said Bitcoin, like, okay. Is it one Bitcoin that costs that stuff?
Yes.
One Bitcoin equals that. Then do we have lower numbers like 0.5 Bitcoin? Does it exist?
So Bitcoin is just like the naira. You know that 100 kobo make 1 naira.
Okay.
Bitcoin, 100 million Satoshi make 1 Bitcoin. That Satoshi is the name or pseudonym of the people. Nobody knows who actually created Bitcoin. It was an anonymous person or group of people that created it in 2008 or 2009 after the great financial crisis in America. Immediately he launched it, the person or people disappeared. So the username that they used or the name that they used was Satoshi. So
okay, Satoshi. Can you spell Satoshi?
Make 1 Bitcoin. Yes, make 1 Bitcoin now.
Can you spell Satoshi?
You can actually buy fractions of a Bitcoin. You must not buy one whole Bitcoin. You can buy fractions of it.
Okay.
Every single cryptocurrency has fractions. Some of their fractions can even go way more than Bitcoin. Some can be 100 billion. Some can be millions and billions. So the way most people, like myself, make money from all these cryptocurrencies that we buy cheap
and sell higher. Okay.
You don't sell higher immediately. You could sell higher immediately, but another person has to come and say, okay, I feel like this thing is worth how much you are actually selling to me. I will buy from you. I think last year I was actually able to make about 1.5 million naira from Bitcoin.
Wow. So wait, the buyers who are in charge of the, like, how do you get to buyers?
How do I get my buyers? Okay. That is where middleman comes in for now. But it's not exactly middlemen like in the traditional financial sector.
Okay.
So basically, if you want to buy and sell, you could find anybody around you that already has their wallet. Okay. So the wallet now is just like a bank account. The wallet has an address. The address is just like your account number. So you could find somebody else that has that particular cryptocurrency that you want to buy or sell it. Then the two of you will give the person naira or whatever thing the person is asking for. Then the person will give you the cryptocurrency. Like probably you could sell a car to somebody and the person could give you Bitcoin in exchange instead of paying you in naira. Or the two of you could give the person naira and the person can give you Bitcoin. You are exchanging currencies. Okay. So that is the first, but that one is too stressful. So we use this middleman called exchanges. So exchanges are now middlemen whereby they find buyers, like buy people, everybody registers there. So if you want to buy, you simply go there. There are always buyers and sellers. But if bad practice, we also make bad perfect, if that makes sense. something well, don't practice the wrong way. That is sloppy practice. If you are trying to practice how to play a musical instrument, if you practice the wrong way, you will end up becoming perfect in the wrong way. So
Okay.
try to make sure that you are practicing in the right way. So show up every day, practice more, or try to learn as much as you can about a particular as much as you can every single day. Keep hacking at it every day. One day that tree that you are hacking at will solidly more surely fall.
Okay. Okay, thanks a lot. I really, really appreciate you being on my show again. Like you watching right now, that's this guy's advice for you. We got a long time today, and obviously in my next podcast we'll talk about the brain and how to make it assist you better achieve your goals and dreams. Okay, like we always say, disconnect your brain from immediate results. There's something called dopamine. Dopamine is released in the process. Many people just want to be motivated every day. It will be released in the process. Okay, disconnect your brain from immediate results. Okay, so that is if it's not showing up now, don't quit. The mango tree that takes time to grow also stays a long time before it dies. So this is all we got right now, and obviously Patrick is gonna come up here again, or probably I bring my physics teacher, this and that. So let's see what goes on. So if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, do so now. This is all we have. Patrick, thanks a lot. Bye.
But